Hello friends, this is fifth part of CPET 2021 mathematics solution video. In this video, I solve some question with detailed explanation. So let us start. Now come to question 31. Here the question asks about let A and B be arbitrary matrices for which the product AB is defined. Then which of the following statement is true? Here observe that we have two matrices A and B. A is a matrix and another matrix B, and the product AB is defined. So we have to find what is the rank. So we know that a result, that is rank of AB, is always less than is equal to minimum of rank of A comma rank of B. So from this we can conclude that the rank of AB is always less than is equal to rank of B. So here option C is correct one. But in case of option D, here we know that rank of A plus B is always less than is equal to rank of A plus this one is rank of B. This one is rank of B. Clear? Here option A and B are wrong statement. So option C is correct one. Here option C is correct one. Now come to another question. Here the question asks about which of the following transformation from R2 over R to R2 over R is a linear transformation. So here observe that option A, the transformation is T of x comma y is equal to, here is the x plus y comma x. Observe that here this term is a linear term, this one is also a linear term. So it may be possible that this is a linear transformation. So let us check. So first of all, let us check here in place of x and y we have to simply put the value 0 and 0. Then we get this one is 0 plus 0 comma 0, or this can be written as 0 comma 0. So basically t of 0 comma 0 we found that this goes to 0 comma 0. Also another property of linear transformation are also satisfied. So here option A is correct one. And observe that in case of option B, here for option B, t of x comma y, this is x square comma y square. Here this is not a linear term, so this cannot be a linear transformation. Now come to option C. Here t of x comma y is equal to, this one is 2x minus y comma here is x square. In this case this one is the linear term and this is not a linear term, so this cannot be a linear transformation. And similarly for option D, here t of x comma y, this is equal to x plus y comma this one is y plus 1. So here observe that this one is also a linear and this one is also a linear, but this is not a linear transformation, because here observe that if we put t of 0 comma 0 in place of option D, we get here this one is 0 plus 0 comma this one is 0 plus 1, and this gives 0 comma 1. So we cannot find here t of 0 comma 0 is equal to 0 comma 0. In this case we found that t of 0 comma 0 is equal to 0 comma 1. So this is not a linear transformation. So option D is wrong one. hence option A is correct one. Clear? Now come to another bit. Here we have to find what is the minimal polynomial of A, and the A is 3 by 3 matrix. Clear? Here to find the minimal polynomial, we have to find what are the eigenvalue of the matrix A. So for finding the eigenvalue, we must have the characteristic polynomial or characteristic equation. So for finding the characteristic equation, we have to solve this one is A minus lambda I. This determinant is equal to 0. By solving this, we get the characteristic polynomial of this matrix A is minus of, this gives minus of, this one is lambda minus 2, and here is lambda minus 1, this whole square is equal to 0. Clear? So this can be rewritten as, this one is lambda minus 2 and this one is lambda minus 1 whole square is equal to 0. From this we can say that lambda is equal to 2 and this lambda is equal to 1 are the eigenvalue. These are eigenvalues. So for finding the minimal polynomial, here observe that lambda minus 2, this factor must be present, and here lambda minus 1, this one is a one possibility, and another possibility is lambda minus 2 into this one is lambda minus 1 whole square. From this one is correct one or this one is correct one. So for this we have to find what is the arithmetic mean and geometric mean of this lambda is equal to 1, this eigenvalue, because lambda is equal to 2 in this case. Here arithmetic mean and geometric mean, these two are 1 and 1, so no need to find for lambda is equal to 2. But in case of lambda is equal to 1, here in place of lambda is equal to 1, the arithmetic mean is equal to how much? How many repetition? This one is 2 times, so 2. And geometric mean is rank of the matrix is, this one is 3 minus, this one is rank of A minus lambda I. This one is the formula for finding the geometric mean. So here for finding this, we get this one is 3 minus, this one is rank of A minus, in place of lambda we have to put 1, so A minus I. Clear? So for finding the rank of A minus I, we get the rank is, here rank is 1, so this one is 3 minus 1, this is equal to 2. Clear? Now a shortcut trick is present to find the minimal polynomial. Here arithmetic mean is 2. Now break arithmetic mean in term of geometric mean and make the partition of arithmetic mean in term of geometric mean. So here we have to partition the value 2, this one is 2, and how many partition? 2 number of partition. So first one is 2 and another is 1 plus 1, 2 number of partition, and largest number of partition is how much? This one is, and what is the factor? 1 plus 1. So this one gives rise to the power, this power. So this one is the shortcut trick for finding the minimal polynomial. So here arithmetic mean is 2 and geometric mean is 2. That means we have to partition arithmetic mean in term of geometric mean. So here is the 2 and geometric mean is 2. So by partitioning 2, we get first partition is 2, another is 1 plus 1, and largest partition is 1 plus 1. So here 1 is taking as the power, so this one is power. So the minimal polynomial is, this one is lambda minus 2, this one is one factor, and this one is lambda minus 1, this one is another factor. So in this question, in place of lambda, we replace is the t. This one is t minus 2 and this one is t minus 1. So this one is the final result. This one is t minus 2. This one is 2. So here option A is correct one. So now come to another question. Here the system of equation x plus 2y minus 2z is equal to minus 1, 3x minus y plus 2z is equal to 7, then 5x plus 3y minus 4z is equal to 2 has unique solution, no solution, infinitely many solution, and 3 solution. Now let us check. So here the system of equation can be written as this one is x plus this one is 2y minus 2z is equal to minus 1. Here is 3x minus y plus 2z is equal to 7, and another is 5x plus 3y minus 4z, this is equal to 2. And we know that a system of equation has unique solution and consistent if the matrix representation, that is Ax is equal to b, has non-singular matrix, has non-singular matrix A, and the solution x can be found out by using the relation A inverse B. Clear? Then we can find the system has, then we can say that the system has unique solution. So on transferring this as matrix form, we get this one is 1, 2, minus 2, this one is minus 1, 3, minus 1, 2, and 7, this one is 5, 3, minus 4, 2. Clear? And by applying row reduction, we can find the system has unique solution or consistency. So we apply the row reduction method. Clear? So applying row reduction, that is R2 is replaced with R2 minus 3 times R1, and R3 is replaced with R3 minus, this one is R3 minus 5 times of R1. On performing this, we get the matrix as this one is 1, 2, minus 2, and this one is minus 1, and another row is this one is 0, then minus 7, 8, 10, another is 0, this one is also minus 7, this one is 6, this one is 7. Now applying another row reduction, that is R3 is replaced with R3 minus R2, we get this one is 1, 2, minus 2, this one is minus 1, 0, minus 7, 8, 10, and this one is 0, 0, minus 2, and this one is minus 3. Here one can observe that by applying the backward substitution method, we get the unique value of x, y, and z. For clearance, here in this case we can find this one is minus 2z is equal to minus 3, or z is equal to 3 by 2. By putting the value of z here, we can find the value of y also and value of x also. So in this case, here one can observe that the rank of the matrix is also 3. Here rank is 3, rank is also 3, and rank of augmented matrix is also 3. This one is rank of augmented matrix is equal to also 3. So both are same. That means the system of equation has unique solution. From this we can from this technique we can also conclude that this system of equation has unique solution, or by applying the row reduction method, or this one is the Gaussian elimination method, we can find the system of equation has the unique solution, or by finding this type of method. Ax is equal to b has a non-singular matrix A. That means this a system of equation is given, and transferring it to matrix form, Ax is equal to b, and the matrix A is non-singular matrix. And if we can find the solution x, y, z by using the formula A inverse b, then also in this case we can say that the system is consistent and has unique solution. Clear? So by applying any of the method, we can conclude that the system has a unique solution. So here option A is correct one. Clear? Now come to another question, that is question number 35. Here the matrix B is given, and the matrix B is equal to, this one is 1, this one is 3, 0, minus 2, this one is 5, minus 1, minus 2, 3. We have to find what is the rank of the matrix B. So by applying row reduction, we can easily calculate the value of the rank of the matrix B. So our aim is to find reduce this term and this term to 0, and in another step this term and this term is 0. So applying row reduction, we can conclude that first of all perform R3, because in this case this one is 0 is already present. So R3 is replaced with R3 minus, this one is 5 time of R1, and R4 is replaced with R4 plus 2 time of R1. By performing this, we can find this one is 1, 3, 0, minus 2, and this one is 0, minus 16, this one is 0 and minus 3. Yeah. And by reducing the term 16 and 3 to 0, we apply this R3 is replaced with R3 minus 8 time of R2, and this R4 is replaced with 2 time of R4 minus 3 time of R2. On applying this, we get this one is 1, 3, 0, minus 2, this one is 0, and this term also 0, this one is 0, and this one is 0. Clear? Here observe that number of non-zero row is 2. Here number of non-zero row is equal to 2. So this rank of B is equal to 2. So option B is correct one. Now come to another question, that is question number 36. Here we have to find what is the determinant of the matrix C, and here observe that the matrix C is, this one is lower triangular matrix. Observe that here this is, these are all zeros. So this one is a lower triangular matrix. So for finding the determinant, here we simply multiply the diagonal element. So determinant of the matrix C is equal to, this one is 2 into minus 3 into 5 into 4. This one is minus 6 into 20. This is equal to minus 120. So here C is correct one. That is, determinant of the matrix C is equal to minus 120, or this can be written as C determinant is equal to minus 120. Now question 37. Here we have to find the integrating factor of the differential equation. The differential equation is given as, this one is 2x log x minus xy, this whole into dy plus this 2y dx is equal to 0, and we have to find the integrating factor. So we know that integrating factor is not unique. So no, for time consuming or less time, we apply the hit and trial method for our suitable option. So we know that if we multiply integrating factor to a differential equation, then the differential equation becomes an exact differential equation. So we know that integrating factor into the whole differential equation, then this reduces to exact one. So the standard form of exact differential equation is, this one is m dx plus n dy is equal to 0, and the differential equation this is said to be exact if the relation del m by del y is equal to del n by del x, this quantity is satisfied. Then we say that the differential equation this is exact differential equation. So let us randomly put the value as integrating factor as 1 by x. Then on multiplying 1 by x in this differential equation, we get this 1 by x into, this one is 2x log x minus xy, this quantity dy plus, this one is 2y by x, this dx is equal to 0. So rewriting this, we get this one is 2 log x minus, this one is y, this whole into dy, then plus, this one is 2y by x, this dx is equal to 0. Now in this case, the value of m is equal to, this one is 2y by x, and del m by del y is equal to del by del y of, this one is 2y upon x, this is equal to 2 by x, and here n is equal to, this one is 2 log x minus y. So del n upon del x, this is equal to del by del x of, this one is 2 log x minus y, this is equal to 2 by x. Here observe that del m by del y and del n by del x, these two are same. Here del m by del y is equal to del n by del x. So on multiplying 1 by x, the whole differential equation become exact one. That means this one is an integrating factor. So here option C is correct one. Now come to another question. Here the particular integral of y, this one is y double dash minus 6y dash plus 9y is equal to 6 e to the power 3x. So we have to find what is the particular integral. So particular integral can be found out by using 6 e to the power 3x whole divided by this can be rewritten in the form of d, as this one is d square minus 6d plus 9. So here observe that this one is 6 e to the power 3x, that means 6 e to the power ax, that type of form. So simply in place of d we put the value 3. So here observe that this one is 6 e to the power 3x divided by this one is 3 square minus 6 into 3 plus 9. This reduces to 6 e to the power 3x divided by this one is 9 minus this one is 18 then plus 9, and this gives 6 e to the power 3x divided by this one is 18 minus 18. So here remainder term is this goes to 0. So the particular integral, for finding particular integral, let us take the technique as pi. If the remainder is 0, then simply write 6 multiply x here and e to the power 3x, and differentiate this equation with respect to d, as multiply x here and differentiate this d with respect to d. That means this becomes, this one is 2d minus 6. Now apply e to the power 3x and the value 3 is here. So here observe that 6x e to the power 3x divided by this one is 2 into 3 minus 6. This gives 6x e to the power 3x divided by this one is 6 minus 6. Also in this case we get the numerator as this denominator as 0. Clear? So this cannot be a particular integral. So here we multiply only x. Now for finding particular integral, let us multiply x square, then 6x square e to the power 3x whole divided by, now differentiate this with respect to d, then this becomes, this one is 2, only 2. So here no d is present, so that means nothing to calculate, and this 2 and this 6 cancel out, and this gives, this one is 3x square e to the power 3x. So particular integral is this quantity. This gives the particular integral. So from option A is correct one. For this type of question you must observe that if the denominator becomes 0, then simply differentiate the f of d term. This is equivalent to f of d. So simply differentiate this one time and multiply x here. Clear? And apply the same formula. If one again this gives 0, this denominator gives 0, then simply multiply with x square and differentiate twice. Differentiate this f of d twice. This gives the result. This gives the result, that is 3x square e to the power 3x. So option A is correct one. Now come to question 39. Here the differential equation is given as y triple dash minus 8y, this is equal to 0. A solution. Which one is the solution? So the auxiliary equation is given as, this one is mq minus 8 is equal to 0, or this can be written as, this one is the auxiliary equation. Okay, this one is auxiliary equation. and this can be written as m cube minus 2 cube is equal to 0. This gives a cube minus b cube. So we know that a cube minus b cube formula is, this one is m minus 2 into, this one is m square plus this one is 2m plus 4. This is equal to 0. So from this we get m minus 2 is equal to 0 as a factor, and another factor is, this one is m square plus this one is 2m plus 4 is equal to 0. From this equation we get m is equal to 2, this one is the one factor, this one is 2, and from this we can calculate m is equal to, this one is minus 2 plus minus this one is 4 minus 16 root over by 2. This gives minus 2 plus minus root over of minus 12 divided by 2, and this gives minus 2 plus minus I 2 root 3 divided by 2, or this can be written as minus 1 plus minus I root 3. So here we found that the value of m1 is equal to 2, and m2 is equal to, this one is minus 1 plus I root 3, and m3 is equal to, this one is minus 1 minus, this one is minus 1 minus I root 3. So the solution is given as, this one is y is equal to some constant c1 e to the power, this one is 2x, plus here we get the complex conjugate root. So e to the power, this gives minus x into, this one is c1, this one is c2, c2 cos, this gives cos root 3 x plus c3, this one is sin root 3 x. So here observe that option B is correct one. Your option B is correct one. That is c1 e to the power 2x plus e to the power minus x, c2 cos root 3x plus c3 sin root 3x, because this one is the real root and these are the complex conjugate root. So in place of complex conjugate root we write the solution as cos and sin form. So this gives the correct answer. Now come to question number 40. Here the question asks about what is the wrong scan of the set sin x cos x. So we know that the wrong scan is the basically the determinant. So this one is sin x, this one is cos x, and derivative of sin x is, this one is cos x, and this one is minus sin x, this determinant. That means this term and derivative of this term. Derivative of this term is written in here, and the derivative of this term is written in here. This is equal to how much? This gives the wrong scan. So finding the determinant, we get this one is minus sin square x, and minus this one is cos square x. On solving this one is minus, taking as the common, this one is sin square x plus this one is cos square x, and this gives sin square x plus cos square x is 1, so this one is minus 1. So wrong scan is minus 1. Here option A is correct one, that is wrong scan is minus 1. Now come to question 41. Here the partial differential equation is given as y del square u by del x square plus x del square u by del y square, this is equal to 0. And this partial differential equation is hyperbolic in which quadrant? So we know that the standard formula to check the partial differential equation, which one is parabolic, hyperabolic or elliptic, is the equation is, this one is RR plus SS plus TT plus some lower differential equation term, this is equal to 0, where the small r represents delta square u upon del x square, and this s represent delta square u upon del x del y, and the small t represent del square u upon del y square. And the standard formula to check this one is s square minus 4rt. We have to calculate this quantity, whether this quantity is greater than 0 or less than 0 or is equal to 0. Depending upon this, we get the hyperabolic, elliptic and parabolic. So let us first remember this first bit. This one is s square minus 4rt. This quantity is greater than 0, then we get hyperabolic, and when s square minus 4rt is less than 0, we get elliptic type differential equation, and when s square minus 4rt is equal to 0, we get parabolic partial differential equation. So we have to check hyperabolic one. So here observe that the coefficient capital R is, here the coefficient capital R is how much? Here the coefficient capital R is this one is y, and capital T equal to x, and capital S is equal to 0. So we have to calculate this s square minus 4rt. So this is equal to 0 minus 4 into r is y into x, this hyperabolic, that means this one is greater than 0. So ultimately this one is minus of yx, this one is greater than 0. So from this, for what value of x and y, this quantity always gives a positive quantity. So in our quadrant, here all positive, here x is negative, y is positive, here negative, here x is positive and y is negative. So from this, here is the minus is present. That means we have two possibilities. That means if we take x as positive, then y must be negative. Then negative, positive and positive, this result gives the positive quantity. This one is one case. And another case is when x is negative, we must have to take y is positive. Clear? So from this condition and this condition, we get the result. So here is the positive and negative. X is positive, so this quadrant, and x is negative and y is positive. X is negative, sorry, x is positive and y is negative, this quantity, this one is. So ultimately the second and fourth quadrant is the correct answer, second and fourth quadrant. So here option A is correct one. Here option A is correct one. Now come to another question, that is question number 42. Here we have to find the solution of the given PD, and the PD is given as delta square z upon del x del y, this is equal to xy square. So for finding the solution, we have to integrate first this with respect to y. So integrating this with respect to y, delta square z upon del x del y into dy, this is equal to integration over x y square, this dy. So integrating with respect to y, we get this one is square is cancel out, So here, sorry, this one is del by del z by del x. This is equal to this one is xy square. So x y cube upon 3 plus we have to integrate with respect to y. So here x is constant. So let it be phi of x. Now again integrating this with respect to x, we get this one is del z upon del x. This dx integration is equal to integration x y cube upon 3 this dx plus integration over this one is phi x dx. So this gives this one is z is equal to this one is y cube upon 3 into x square upon 2 plus this one is here with we integrate with respect to x, so y is constant, so let it be this one is f of y plus this one is phi of x. We don't know what is the value of phi of x, and integrating value is must be a function of x, so let it be capital G of x. So ultimately the correct answer is z is equal to this one is x square y cube upon 6 plus this one is f of y plus G of x. So this one is the correct answer. So here option A is correct one. Now come to another question. Here the subset, this one is 1 comma minus 1 comma I comma minus I. This one is complex number. Form a group with respect to multiplication. This one is the set form a group with respect to multiplication. So here option C is correct one. Now come to another question. Here the number of generator of Z20 is how much? So for finding number of generator for a finite group, that is for Z20, we have to calculate the value k belongs to Z20 such that GCD of this k comma 20 must be equal to 1. So they are relatively prime. So here observe that the value of k must be is equal to this one is 1, 3 and 7, 9, 11, 13, 17 and 19. Clear? So how much quantity? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one is 8. Another way also we can calculate. We have to calculate phi 20. So this 20 order of the group. This one is phi 20. So phi 20. So this 20 can be rewritten as in the term of time factorization as this one is 2 square into 5. So phi 20 is this one is 20 whole into 1 minus 1 by 2 into 1 minus 1 by 5. This one is the formula. So from this we have this one is 20 into 1 by 2 into this one is 4 by 5. This one is 4, this one is 2, this is equal to 8. So in this way you can also calculate number of generator, or using phi function you have to this one is simpler one, this one is 8. So here correct option is option number C. Now come to another question. Here how many subgroup does Z20 have? So here the group is Z20. We have to find the number of subgroup. So for finding the number of subgroup, our first aim is to calculate what are the divisor of 20. So divisor of 20 are 1, another is 2 and 3, 9, 4, then 5, then 6, no, 7, no, 8, 9, 10, then this one is 10, then last one is 20. Clear? So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 number. So here option B is correct one. Now come to another question. Here the question asks about the number of element of order 10 in Z30. So here our group is Z30 and we have to find number of element of order 10. So a simple formula is present. We have to calculate phi 10. So phi 10 is 10 can be rewritten as this one is 10 is equal to this one is 2 into 5. So from this we have this one is 10 into 1 minus 1 by 2 into 1 minus 1 by 5, and this gives this one is 10 into this one is 1 by 2 into this one is 4 by 5. This one is 2, this cancel out, correct answer is 4. So here option C is correct one, that is 4. And the number of element of order 10 are the elements are these are 3, 9, 21, this one is 27. Clear? Now come to another question. Here, if H is a subgroup of a finite group G, here given that G is finite and H is the subgroup, H with the subgroup, and order of H and order of G. Here order of H is given as M and order of G is given as N. Then here we know that from Lagrange theorem that order of H divides order of G for a finite group G. So order of H divides order of G, that means M divides N, this by using Lagrange theorem. Lagrange theorem. Clear? So here option A is correct one. Now come to another question, that is question number 48. If G is a group such that here given as A square is equal to E and for all A belongs to G, then the group must be a abelian group. This one is the abelian group. Abelian group, because every element are the self inverse element. So this one is a abelian group. So here option A is correct one. Now come to another question. Here H is a subgroup of group G. That means then H is normal in G. Here H is normal in G. H is normal in G. So we know that a theorem, if H is a normal subgroup of a group G, then index is always 2. Here we know that index is always 2. Index is always 2. So here option A is correct one, because H is a normal subgroup. Clear? Now come to another question. Here the question asks about if H is a subgroup of a group G. Here G is a group and H is subgroup. H is subgroup. And the quotient group is defined G by H. This one is a group. When we know that for defining a quotient group, this subgroup must be a normal subgroup. Must be a normal subgroup. Then also we can define the quotient group. Clear? So for defining the quotient group, the group must be a normal subgroup. That means option B is correct one. Here H is a normal subgroup of G. So option B is correct one.